So we're going to use this excerpt from the first chapter of Number the Stars that you read last week. And I want you to think about what was happening right before this paragraph we're going to read. They had just been kind of teasing each other, talking about the race at school, and were racing each other down the street. So right where we pick up, it says, Anne-Marie looked up panting just as she reached the corner. Her laughter stopped. Her heart seemed to skip a beat. Halt, the soldier ordered in a stern voice. The German word was as familiar as it was frightening. Anne-Marie had heard it often enough before, but it had never been directed at her until now. So we go from this really normal kind of back and forth conversation that two young girls would be having, and they're racing down the street. And then the author does something kind of similar to like if you get to the end of a block and you completely turn and head in a new direction. That's what writers can do to really make a scene suddenly shift. And it kind of makes the reader sit up and go, wait, something's happening. So we notice that as soon as she looks up and it says her laughter stopped. So right there, that's when you can see the story changes, the mood changes. It says her heart seemed to skip a beat. Skipping a beat, that's something that happens when your heart is racing so fast it almost feels like it stops for a second. Then it says, halt, the soldier ordered in a stern voice. Now, I know that halt is German for stop. Now, stop isn't a frightening word at all, but the soldier says it in a stern voice. And then she says the German word was as familiar as it was frightening. Now, that tells me that the word stop, if your teacher said it, that's not going to be described as a frightening word. So what I'm picking up on is that it's the fact that it was coming from one of these soldiers. So now I'm remembering as the reader, okay, there's something going on here, and these soldiers are definitely the enemy. They're definitely people that the girls are afraid of. So you can see with this short lesson how a writer is able to use certain vocabulary and describe a scene without ever saying to the reader, right now this is a scary scene, or right now my characters are scared. She doesn't have to come out and tell us that because she shows us through using language like frightening, stern, and then describing the situation in a way like her laughter stopped, her heart skipped a beat. So I want you to keep that in mind as writers, to be paying really close attention to how a writer is able to kind of manipulate the mood of a story by using very specific vocabulary and creating a feeling inside the reader. That's it for today. I want you to look at the assignment tab, and you have a short writing lesson that goes along with this mini lesson.